Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So I've decided I'm going to try and release a video every week up until the Edinburgh Marathon. So they're going to be just chatting about the training week, letting you know how it's gone, what I did during the week, and then so there should be 19 of those, and then there'll be a few race vlogs along the way and the marathon vlog as well. And you guys can keep updated with my training, and there's plenty of videos for you to comment on and let me know how yours is going as well and what races you're training for, because it'd be good to know if you guys are running the same races that I'm running, or just if your running's going well, or if you're struggling, asking for tips in the comments. If there's anyone else that can help, I'll try and help as well. And yeah, we can just try and help each other out. For Edinburgh, we're going to be targeting sub 3 again. I do have a marathon on the lead up to that, and we're going to just see how we're feeling as to whether we're going to actually go for sub 3 for that one as well. It really just depends on how I feel. If I feel like I'm peaking right at that time, I'm going to just go for it, but it probably will be a little bit slower, maybe 3:05 I want to go for, just to try and get that in my legs, get that under my belt, a new PB, and then we'll go from there. And my training at the moment is structured kind of towards the 10k half marathon distances. I've got a couple of those races coming up, so I'm heavily focused on threshold running at the moment, and the long run is kind of taking a back seat, even though it is my favorite run of the week. I'm just kind of letting that go for now, and I'm focusing heavily on threshold, and I'm quite enjoying the threshold work at the moment. It's reasonably tough, but it's also not that tough. Like, I could do a lot of it and my body recovers quite well from it. So I am actually really enjoying doing the threshold sessions. I am actually doing double threshold, so I'm doing double threshold on Mondays and double threshold on Thursdays, so you'll hear a bit more about that when we go over the training. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the training week and start off with Monday. And as you can see on screen, I went out at almost 5:30 in the morning before work, and I got a 3x8 minute threshold in with 60 seconds jog recoveries. The average pace for the reps was 4:01 per k, and it felt pretty good at that pace, and the average heart rate was 149 and the max heart rate was 158 through those reps, and that's kind of where I would want it to be, 158 towards the end of the session, and kind of hovering between the 150 to 155 is where I want it for that session. And we finished up that morning session with just over 9k with an average of 4:31 per k for the run. And then onto the evening session, I went out just before 7 o'clock. We went to the gym, Jen did some strength, and I hopped on the treadmill. It was meant to be 6x1k with 60-second jog recovery. And on the treadmill, I usually use my watch just to lap it so I know kind of where I'm at. And I thought I hadn't lapped it yet, and I ended up lapping the first rep into the recovery. So I just kind of ignored that and just went with 5 by a k. And I thought that was enough. We're doing double threshold, so I'm still going to get enough threshold in the day, and I'll be happy with that. I did the ons for this at 15 on the treadmill, which I believe is 15 kilometers per hour, but you can let me know. I'm pretty sure it is. And then the offs around 10. So it's pretty controlled, and I was pretty happy with those paces. I want to get that pace on the treadmill up to like 15.5, 15.7-ish, which I believe is 350 per k. So that would be nice to do that workout again. And I get used to doing workouts on the treadmill because I'm not used to doing them and having to push the buttons and that. It's not a treadmill that you can type the speed in. You can't just press like 15, enter or whatever. You have to hold the button. So that's quite annoying. At the old gym I was at, you could type in the number and then it would go to it. And my average heart rate for that session was 154 and max heart rate was 161. So probably a little bit lower than I would want that session to be, but also I'm trying to keep it controlled just so I can tick off the double threshold days. And we finished that session with just over 10k. And then on Tuesday morning, my usual kind of half-hour recovery plod, pretty chilled pace at 5:46 per kilometer, and we did just over 5k. My heart rate is really low in pretty low in these now. I'm really taking these easy because I used to do a lot less workouts. I used to be able to run my recovery and my easy runs a little bit faster and keep a little bit higher average heart rate. But now, because I'm trying to fit in 4 workouts during the week, I'm really just trying to dial back, just get the legs turning over, get some active recovery in, and then get ready for the next sessions later in the week. So these ones are really chilled. And then on Tuesday evening, Jen wanted to head out for a run as well. So I did another half hour with her at 6:30 pace and 4.6k. So that was a nice little addition to the mileage, but it was just to keep her company on her run. And then moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday is the day where I'd normally do a medium long run. I've been tossing up whether to do a little bit less mileage in the mornings of the Wednesday because I've got the double threshold days now. So I just did 10k and kept that pretty easy as well, with an average heart rate of 125 and just under 5 minutes per k, and it was about 50 minutes. I've really been taking them a bit easier so I can focus on the next day, nice and chilled, just to make sure that I'm ready for the Thursday workouts. And then on the Wednesday evening, I went to the gym while Jen did legs strength, and I just jumped on the treadmill again, just at 5:27 pace, did half an hour just to add some more mileage in and just do it at recovery pace. And the average heart rate was 115, so it is pretty chilled. And it's good just to increase the frequency of running as well. So even though they're smaller on the recovery days, running double days, I'm doing what I want to do more. So hopefully that translates into better performance later on. And then moving on to Thursday, the second double threshold day of the week. I went out at 5:17 in the morning, and it was a 25-minute tempo block for this one, and the pace I averaged was 3:59 per k. My average heart rate was 145, which I'm really happy with, but also I want to be trying to get that average heart rate up to about 150 for these kind of workouts, but hopefully we can get to that throughout the training block. My max was 154. So for that pace, holding it for 25 minutes at 3:59 and having an average heart rate of 145, I'm really happy with that. And it shows that the work that I'm doing, hopefully, is improving my fitness. But we finished that with just over 9.5k. And then we move on to the evening session, where I really enjoy this one of the week, which I used the Wave Rebellion Pro in the 400s for the last couple of weeks, and they just feel so fast and just so bouncy and fun to run in. But this one was 12 times, well, I've written 12 times 40, but it was 12 times 400 with a 60-second jog. And I progressed these down from 90 seconds down to 81 was the last one. And the pace range came out at my 5k PB pace, which is 3:36 per kilometer. My heart rate average for these was 143, and my max it got to was 158, and that would have been on the last rep. For these, I do want to try and be running these a bit harder and get the heart rate a bit higher, so the rest will start to come down, so the heart rate doesn't drop too much, because as I'm getting a bit fitter and a bit more used to these kind of workouts, for the threshold I want to make sure it stays a bit higher, and then I'm getting more time at that kind of heart rate throughout the week. But spending more time around the 150 to 160 is going to help me a ton, and I generally recover, like I said, really well from it. So as much of that as I can get in, the better. Moving on to Friday was just another half hour easy recovery plod at 5:35, average heart rate of 118. So that is due to probably the accumulative fatigue over those 4 days of double days. I was probably quite fatigued that day, and we went out at night. So I also had the fatigue from working for the whole week and the whole day as well. So yeah, average heart rate 118 is a bit higher than it probably should have been. I should have probably gone a little bit slower and got ready for the long run. And then we move on to the long run of the week, which I got some footage of. So enjoy that footage, and I'll see you back after it. Welcome to the Saturday long run. Hopefully you can hear me because it is a little breezy. Not too bad though. Almost got hit by a golf ball, so I'm trying to get my heart rate back down. I tried to speed up so I didn't get almost hit by anymore. But almost 4k in, keeping these long runs easier now, because
heavily focused on threshold at the moment, which you would have seen in the training in the earlier week, but trying to keep these between 130 and 140 heart rate. So for this one, I'm going uphill for 12k, back down the hill for 12k, about that. Not sure exactly how long, maybe 10 out, 10 back, up to 12. So could be 20, could be 24, but yeah, I'm just going to keep it pretty steady, easy, and yeah, just kind of sign these ones off, focus on threshold during the weeks, and then we'll do some long run workouts closer to the marathon training, closer to the marathon. So yeah, let's keep going. Okay, just had a girl on the bike come up beside me, ask if a guy on a blue bike's gone past on a blue bike. He's not gone past, so she's gone back. So we need to keep a lookout for a guy on a blue bike, but then I don't know how to let her know where he is, so hopefully she finds him. Okay, we're just over 6k. Not really brought my heart rate back down, so I'm gonna stay around the 140 up the hill. I'll come back down on the way down. My legs are feeling fresh today, and even fresher during the run because I've got the Vomero Plus on, super comfy. So yeah, not worried about speed, so we're just gonna wear these. They found him. I think they found him. I'm really not sure if that was a blue bike though. I don't know if I got it in the camera, but we'll check that. Man, look at these views. If you're not a fan of the running content, but that's what brought you here, you can come for these views. When I actually get to run in the daylight, if you are wondering why I'm running in the daylight today, it's because Jen's really got nothing to sell in the shop, so there's no point in me being in there. She's got classes on and she's quite busy, but she's given me like the late morning and afternoons off, so hopefully we can keep up with some content, keep you guys posted on the training. Okay, that's the 10k up. Been running for 48 minutes odd, and I think I'm gonna go one more k up this mountain. Still been going uphill the whole time, and then we're gonna turn around, begin the descent back home. But yeah, legs are feeling pretty good, heart rate's a bit high. They're good to do tempos up, keep your heart rate high, low impact. So maybe I'll use this hill during some threshold work. But yeah, just gonna go one more k and turn around. We're about to beep the 11k and then turn around. There's a car coming, so wait for them to go by and we'll turn around. All right, they've flown by, a lot of wind, probably won't talk to you too much. God, I didn't realize I was going down breeze. Can you hear that? Don't know if you can hear that, but there's a lot of breeze after the turnaround, so I'm trying to shield it so you can hear me. But yeah, sort of weak spot that I can maybe get some short form content. So if you look at the elapsed time, you're like, hang on a sec, he stopped his watch. Well, that's why. Okay, normally I wouldn't do it, but I'm gonna try and get some YouTube shorts going. There's so many people that ride around here, but I don't really know any of them. But I really wish someone could come out for a ride while I run. and get some cinematic footage because it's such a beautiful area. Like, look at this. Like, stop the watch. Imagine me just running down that road while somebody's following. Oh, I've got the drone, guys. I've got the drone. Yeah, good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, I'll use the drone. Let's try and get a shot of it while I run down the middle of it. Maybe, does it magnetize to this fence? Or is this electric? It's not electric. Oh, it's not magnet. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. How's that? Does that look alright? Maybe a little bit to the right and down. Oh, how about that? Maybe not. Oh, this is proving quite difficult. Let's just go with that. Okay, we're going. How was that? Was that any good? Alright. Stop faffing around on this run. I'm having too much fun filming, but I'm not really focused on the long run at the moment, so I'm not too bothered. Okay, let's finish. Alright, that's the half marathon up. Don't know what time it is because we stopped and started and stuff, so no point looking at that. I might try and go see Jen, get her in the video in between her classes, so we'll see if she's free. Will it copyright me from saying hello to you? Oh man, okay, well I've just gone over so much and the music would copyright me, and because this is my living, I'm gonna have to pause that, and we're gonna see Jen in the vlog.
Jen,
back by popular demand. Chino and Luna will be in the videos more often, coming soon as well, because you know people have been asking if Darren is people. That is the people. This is the workshop, the studio. So that's Jen working hard. She's just done a class on those wheels. We've got Truan Running Co caps. Very nice. I'm wearing this one. I love this one, but I've not stolen one yet. And I love that one. Performance caps are nice too. I've got that one, but yeah, I don't have one of every one because yeah, they're for you guys if you want them. We've got some clothing as well. That is all on sale on the website and will be linked down below so you can check those out. I'm gonna go say goodbye to Jen and then just jog home, and then that's the long run done.
So yeah, that was the long run. I hope you enjoyed the footage, and we finished off with just over 22k. We averaged 4:35 per k, and it was about 1 hour and 43 minutes. But I did stop a fair bit because I was filming bits and pieces here and there, and then I visited Jen on the way home and then had another 500-meter jog home. So it was a bit broken, but you know, I was just out there to enjoy it and get some mileage in. And the average heart rate was 141. So it was a little bit harder than I wanted. And hopefully it doesn't affect me going into next week's training. But yeah, it was a good fun one. And then on Sunday, we finished off the week with a 7k or 40-minute kind of recovery jog in the morning at 5:45 pace with an average heart rate of 112. So pretty chilled. And I just wanted to kind of recover and get ready for next week. And I'm really happy with how that week went. And we finished off the week at 100 kilometers with 8 hours and 16 minutes of running. Not much elevation gain, but I don't really focus on that. And the 8 hours and 16 minutes may end up coming down when we start running a bit faster, but it's more the workouts that I'm focused on at the moment. So they're the main runs of the week now, and that is my main focus, is to just get time at threshold in, and then we'll get more specific to the marathon as we get closer to them. And if my mileage needs to drop because I want to take either a full rest day or just have a single day and just do a wee recovery in the morning and not do a double, then that is fine. I'm more focused on making sure that I can hit those kind of paces and those heart rates and those workouts and feel good while I'm doing it. And even if I do it while I'm fatigued, it's still good, but I want to make sure that I don't get injured. So yeah, focusing on getting those workouts in and not overtraining is the main priority for this part of the block. So those will be on Mondays and Thursdays as much as possible. If you know what it's like, if life happens and I need to change things around, we'll do that. Or if I need to skip one, it's not the end of the world. At least I'm still trying to get in those workouts each week. I used to only get in one workout on the Monday and one workout on the Thursday, and then my long run would be more specific to the marathon. And that's probably what we'll move to, getting closer to the marathons. But yeah, trying to get these 4 workouts in is the plan. Let me know how your training's going, and if you're training for anything in particular, if you've got any big races planned, or if you're just trying to get faster as a runner and you like just doing solo time trials because you don't like running around other people, that's fine. Let us know and let us know how you're going. I'm not too sure how long this video is going to be, so apologies if I've taken up too much of your time, but the goal is to be releasing one of these every week, and also some YouTube shorts, and then the race vlogs when we come to them. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Come on the journey with us. We're on that journey to the sub 3. Hopefully we can get it. But at the end of the day, it's not the be all and end all. And I'm just glad that I'm still running and enjoying it. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.